Yeah, hello and welcome to a short episode of the Spielworxx Chat Season 3 Essen Edition. And hello Stefan, good seeing you, and hello Hans, good seeing you as well. My name is Uli Blennemann and I hope you are all well. I'm back from Essen, from Spiel at Essen, and I'm still trying to catch up with work. So if you're missing a mail, if you're missing a response, will come in the next couple of days. I hope till end of Friday I'm recent with mails and responses, so if you need something, please bear with me for a second. And hello Chris, good seeing you, and hello Daniel. He's saying you sound better than me, well done. Yeah, I lost my voice at first at Iserlohn at the Seilersee and then at Essen, constant talking. But it's getting better, a little bit better. And hello Mo, hello to Texas. Excellent seeing you. And Marcus, hello. Yeah, well, undeserved 3-0 victory against Frankfurt, but what can you do? If you have any questions or comments, as usual, please put them in the chat window. General question, how was Essen? Yeah. In general answer is, it almost felt like 2019, just with masked people. And I think the official figures are 147,000 people. Please correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm having written down this wrongly, which is less than 2019, but still an enormous number of people, of course. So wonderful. Yeah. Spielworxx this year was in Hall 6, so more in one of the somewhat smaller halls behind the Galleria, which is actually dividing the fairground a little bit. But I wanted to avoid most of the families, but also see that people could reach us, so the Spielworxx booth, quickly through the former central entrance, and that worked out very nicely indeed. And together with Hunter and Friends and Couplex, we had one larger area. Spielworxx had 60 square meters, and our larger area was separated into a separate booth, so also I think that worked out very nicely. And hello Nick, good seeing you. Nick said Thursday and Friday did not seem very crowded. Putting the mask straight in Hall 7 was a good idea. Yeah, that's true. I can't really speak too much of was it really a lot lighter, because I'm not seeing a lot at Essen. And hello Jonas. He's saying, hi Uli, hope you are recharged. Not yet. At the end of the week, most probably, but not yet. Lots of work to do immediately, lots and lots of work, and I have to do this quickly. But Spielworxx booth, and Jonas, it was great seeing you in person at Essen, really wonderful. I think first time, is this correct? Yeah, we had demo tables for Ostia-Spiele, where Heike and Stefan Risthaus explained One Card Wonder, Ein Kartenwunder, most of the time. So check out this wonderful game from Ostia-Spiele. And let's see, I have a couple of photos here, and let's see if I find the correct one. Not, it will take a little bit of time. So, where is, oh yes, at least Stefan. And you see One Card Wonder, Ein Kartenwunder, and explanation and cards. Looks great on the table, so this is a great game. And we had also for demo the German edition, which is by Leader Games, of 4. So let me see, I think I saw it before. There it is, at least a part of the cards, and that was 4. We had a game table for it. We had a table for Oranienburger Kanal, and this is Chris Spade, who's here in the chat, and he's showing Oranienburger Canal, and thank you so much. But This table was also handled by Purple Shiva, who's here in the chat. So thank you to both of you. Wonderful. And there was a table for El Burro, which is a La Granja game, forthcoming by Mike and Ode. And where is it? I'm too stupid for this. Let me quickly go through it. I think, there is at least Ode is here, and the prototype of El Burro. And you see in the background, there is Iserlohn Rooster Supporters Launch. Yeah, well, shabbiest launch you can imagine. And there was a demo table for Karolingi by Sea Cove Games, which is a small company. You see Karolingi here in the background by Peter Eggert and me. Let me see, other direction. So that's Sebastian Freudenberg, one of the designers. And these are both designers. Christoph Kanzler, who is a professional gaming author, is doing nothing else. And Sebastian, first time game. And I think together they are making a great team. And Nick is also here in the chat right now. Oops. And here you go. There is that Nick, because he demoed the game on Friday as well. Thank you so much, Nick, for it. And there was also a wonderful presentation table of Caplex that featured the German edition of O's most of the time. And by the way, O's should be delivered to everyone this month, so the German edition, of course. And let me get back to this. And yeah, most of the time all tables were occupied, so that was wonderful, and the feedback was also great and positive. So thank you all very much. In my opinion, all visitors were really well informed. They knew what they wanted. They were very friendly and really enthusiastic. So what more can you ask for? And moreover, the team, the Spielworxx team, was also brilliant, did a wonderful job, because explaining and also selling games at Essen is hard. It's loud, it's very long hours, so thank you very much to all of you. So wonderful job you all did. Let me just go through this to the chat quickly. Chris is saying, I felt Thursday was busier than in 2019. Saturday wasn't as busy as 2019, so yeah, could be that less families were there at Essen. I think now a day ticket is 17 or 19 euros, which is a lot. So if you're coming with your family, 2 adults, 2 kids, it's quite a bit of money if you're not already a true gamer. And Stefan is saying to One Card Wonder, it is wonderful, full of wonders. It is full of wonders. Yes, it's a wonderful game full of wonders. There's Katschpitzdolch. Hello, good seeing you. And Stefan, do not forget the top team at the desk. Yeah, they were selling the games and managing inventory. Christoph and Paul. Christoph is my best friend, and he's doing this most efficiently. Paul is his son, and also doing a most wonderful job. Hans is saying, I saw Weimar, the fight for democracy, on the capstone booth. I will get to this in a second. And Katschpilzdorch is saying, I stopped by the booth a couple of times, great booth with great games, but I would have liked an EC Hannover supporters launch. No, now you're out. Can't do this. And actually this Iserlohn Rooster supporters launch sign wasn't even arranged by me, so that our all good friend Andre Heavy arranged this. So when I arrived I looked at it, but had to laugh, and I loved it. So thank you so much, Andre, when you see this later. Danny Newman's London Necropolis Railways was at the fair. It was sold at the fair and sold out at the fair. But we did not bring a lot of copies because most had been pre-sold. And it may be that in a couple of days, so maybe end of next week, I will have very few copies remaining and offer them at my website. I first have to check inventory. I need a couple of replacements for broken stuff, destroyed stuff, so for replacement parts. So it may happen. But for you overseas people, the game is still on the way to the BGG store. So it's sold out for me, but BGG store, according to my information, still has copies left which may be bought. And let's take a look. This is the Brute over here, different direction again. I'm now scrolling through this 10 times. There he is. That's Daniel at Essen. So you see London Necropolis Railway and the wonderful Brute from Brooklyn, Daniel Newman. And other demos we had were by Matthias Kramer on his Weimar game, and by Cole Worley on John Company's second edition and Leader Games Ahoy. So, because I was now scrolling through this so many times, there is Matthias with Weimar, which someone said Hans said he saw it at the Capstone booth. So we had it also here, and Skellig, Uwe had it also at his booth at least once, and Matthias explained most of the game to interested people. And by the way, in the background we see Christoph, we see Heike, Stefan's lovely wife, and Paul, Christoph's son. So all of them here pictured. And let's now take a look. So that's John Company with Cole in action explaining it at the booth. And what is most interesting, in my opinion, is the t-shirt. You see, it's a Avalon Hills Magic Realm, but it's a Hobby Japan edition shirt. Wow. And you see, Cole is a real nerd. But speaking of Drew and his wife and Cole, that was a highlight among many others at the show for me. Really lovely, well-educated, and always interesting people. And it's probably the other way for sure. There's Cole, by the way, is explaining Ahoy. And Andreas Bohlmann from Klickenabend is recording this. So he's teaching it, and then they played it. And then these are the three idiots. Now, well, one idiot and two very nice people. So Cole and Drew and, yeah, well, this Uli. And this is the wall in the back. This is the direction where I looked at 80% of the time at Essen. So this is the excitement wall. Oh, wow. Anyway, but for me, the most important things at Essen are talking to people. So first, business talks, of course, very important, most important. That's why I'm there. But also meeting with friends who I hadn't seen for a long time. I hadn't seen Cole and Drew since BGG-Con December 2019. I hadn't seen Claude Sirois, the designer of Grand Trunk Journey, and Smoky Valley since BGG-Con 2019. I hadn't seen Steven since the Podfather of Gaming since that time. I hadn't seen Rand since that time. So many people I hadn't seen for 3 years or more. So wonderful. But business talks, of course, are also very important. I don't know if you've already answered it, but what was your favorite day of the year, and what is it usually of this year? And hi, Nicholas, good seeing you. He's saying it was great seeing you. Yeah, it was wonderful seeing you at the fair after 1 year. I think we met last year at Essen, and good luck with your new job. So this will work out very, very nicely, Nicholas. Katschwitzdorf, favorite day of this year probably was not at Essen. I'm getting to one wonderful evening a little bit later. We had a favorite day of this year. Some of the days in my holidays in August were really wonderful, but I was so exhausted in the late afternoon. These were great. Lariacon days were outstanding. So in Portugal, that fair with Nick, for example, with Tony, with Ben Maddox, with others. But it's difficult to say the single one. I have to think about this for way longer. And on Saturday at Essen, Anna Clara and Lukas Boch, the board game historians, had organized the first research day at Essen. And I was part of a panel with Martina Fuchs, with Stefan Feld and Matthias Kramer on history in board games. And in my opinion, most interesting, very important, but it is a very difficult topic, of course. And to press all this in 60 minutes with an additional 30 minutes time for questions is hard. But there were more than 100 people listening to it live. And so thank you very much, Anna and Lukas, for organizing it. And of course to the Merz Verlag and Dominique for making this happen, for offering the room and everything else. So I think this was a great first research day. And the panel, or I think everything, all the other panels as well, please check them out too. They were filmed and recorded, but everything was in German language. So if you are a German language listener, I think you should find the videos soon. And maybe for the future, because I think Essen is an international fair, we have to think about doing this in English. Did I see a lot of things at Spiel? No, not at all. And you already saw the white wall I was staring at most of the time. But I had pre-ordered War of the Ring, the card game, and before I show this here, while I was at Essen, John Company English edition arrived at my home, and now I have it here, so it's a really heavy, thick box. So that's the English edition. So, of course, haven't played it, have hardly looked at it. I pre-ordered War of the Ring, the card game, also big box. It says it's for 2 to 4 players, placing 90 minutes. And it's designed by Ian Brody, so it's not by the War of the Ring board game designers. Ian Brody, he designed the Quartermaster series of card-driven board games. So there is a First World War, a Second World War, and a Cold War game. And yes, I'm looking forward to playing this rather sooner than later. And it says it's inspired by the best-selling and award-winning War of the Ring board game. Yeah, that's what I guessed. But different designer. And I had also pre-ordered 11, which is the football, soccer game by Portal Games. This is the German edition, Deutsche Ausgabe. And yeah, it's really a management game. So I think even if you're also heavy box, really heavy, large box, and I think if you are a fan of management games, Euro-type management games, then you like 11. You don't have to be a football soccer fan. And Portal says it's a thematic Euro game for 1 to 4 players, also plays in roughly 90 minutes. I'm interested as a football fan in this game. And last but not least, I bought Heat by Days of Wonder. This is by Asger Harding Granerud and Daniel Skold Pedersen, so the designers of Flamme Rouge. It is supposed to be based on that game too. And yeah, it's a Formula One racing game. As you can imagine, it's for 1 to 6 players. So it also has a solo bot and it plays in roughly 60 minutes. It's a very, very heavy bot. So these were the 3 games I had pre-ordered or bought, so not really a lot. And I got handed a few more games. Thank you very much, much appreciated. Among them, Fire and Stone, The Siege of Vienna, 1683, by Capstone and Costa, one of the co-designers of Milinci. He handed me Dompierre, looks really good. And I also got by Steffen from Fun Tales, Feeds a Kraken, and this also looks outstanding. So again, thank you very much. So let me check this again. Jonas is saying, we couldn't snatch War of the Ring, but tried it, looks great. Yeah, I pre-ordered it, and I think the general release is only in a couple of weeks, so it was just for pre-order people, and of course they had lots of demos. Hans is saying it's an economic game, so probably 11 you mean, right? Yeah, Katschpitz 11 put me off a bit with so many expansions and the associated price. Very curious how you like it. Yeah, I only bought the base game. So first, a lot of these crowdfunded games that were crowdfunded on Kickstarters or GameFound, or now crowdfunding by BackerKit, they have lots of expansions because you want to have additional stuff, stretch goals for the campaign people, and later you have suddenly lots of expansions. So I only bought the base game, but I think there are some extras to it, and I can also understand that this is somewhat off-putting to people, but I think the base game should be fine. I don't need a lot of expansions anyway. So Hans is saying the same, bought everything, but is agreeing with Katschpitz that there are maybe too many expansions. As soon as I've played these games, I will let you know, probably in 2025 or 26. Let's see. Unfortunately, I only had to make a single pass to all 3, one on Friday and one on Saturday. And it was, although people are saying it was lighter attended on Saturday, still in all 3 front hall, way too many people in there. But some gamers seem to enjoy it, and I have to say I hate it, but to each their own. So, but for me it's way too many people. And for me, it's in general, it's very difficult to look forward to Spiel Essen because it's very long hours. So standard time is 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. in the afternoon, evening. Sunday is till 6 p.m., so 1 hour less. But I have to be, or I'm basically at the booth at 8:30 a.m. each day, preparing the booth and my work. And I've already, of course, I had breakfast in the hotel. I did some mails, the most pressing ones, checking some stuff, and then I have to go from the hotel or move from the hotel to the fairgrounds. So it's really, really long hours, and it's exhausting. But still, of course, I'm not really looking forward to this, but meeting friends and partners is also very good. And here at home, at Billabü, I'm not seeing lots of gamers, very few true gamers. And Essen, of course, gives you also some energy, because the question I'm often having here at home at my work desk is, are there really that many people who can play all these games, purchase these games? Is this possible? And then Essen gives me some energy, because I see, yes, there are lots of people playing these games, buying these games, enjoying these games. So this gives me energy. And energy I also got on Thursday evening, because we left the fair a little bit earlier and we saw the hockey game at Iserlohn. So that was definitely, going back to your question, Spielworxx, this was one of the best evenings I had this year, best night. So it was a magical night. Team won in an exciting game against Kölner Haie, Cologne Sharks. And the group of people, we were 5 in a car, so Christoph drove, thankfully. There was Andre Havey, also a Roosters fan. There was Claude Serrois, who still plays hockey in Canada. And Rand, of course, my good friend Rand. So we had a wonderful time before the game in the car. We talked about games, about anything. And then, of course, we had a great time at the Seiler See, and great night. But there are also negative things, of course, about Essen. So, as to be expected, COVID has hit quite a few people. I know personally quite a few. And I really hope that everyone who caught COVID will only have mild symptoms and is well quickly again. So I'm still, of course, because Essen is only over for 2 days, I'm testing daily here. So far everything is negative. Just my voice that I lost at the Seiler See and at Essen. But it's most important that everybody is healthy and is recovering quickly. Yeah. That's about it. That's about my Essen experience. You see, I'm not playing any. I haven't played a single game in the evening. I've Thursday Iserlohn, but I have no time and I have no energy at all to play a game. Friday I had dinner with Cole and Drew. Saturday with Christoph and Paul. And on Saturday I was in bed at 9:45 p.m. So quick dinner to the hotel, and then it's what it is, and you really can't change this. Spielworxx is saying, my favorite part of Spiel is in the evening hours in the hotel lobby where everyone is playing. It's wonderful when you entering. I agree 100%. When I'm entering the hotels and see people enjoying games, having a great time, having a drink and enjoying games. It's just that I'm spent at that time. So I would love to join, but no, it's impossible. And when I go to my room, I first have to do some work, at least half an hour again, and checking mails, answering most important ones. That's what it is. So for today, thank you all very much. If you have been at Essen, I hope you had also a great time. If you have never been to Essen, you should consider seeing it. I'm not necessarily saying it's a must, but you should consider it. And maybe not all 4 days, but maybe 1 or 2 days. Be selective, then I think you can have a great time. And if you have been at Essen, please test yourself. That is for the next couple of days. I think this is also necessary. Next Spielworxx chat is in 2 weeks, so on October 25. Thank you all for your time. If you would like to see a special topic discussed or have a specific question that you'd like to ask in advance, please drop me a mail at uli@spielworxx.de. That is uli@spielworxx.de. Great evening till October 25. Bleibt alle gesund, support the Ukraine, and bye-bye. Thank you.